I know. I've been slow on the uploads, but trust me, I have been busy. The shoe store is here. We are a week out from the grand opening. There are final touches going on with the store, but let me give you a tour of the store and the gym because those two are pretty much put together, sans a few things. So that Fit Friends shop here, 253 Chesterfield Industrial Boulevard. Let me bring you in for the actual tour of the store. All right, so here is the layout. Check this out. It came together so good, y'all. So here is the wall where we're gonna have Get Your Fit. This scanner is gonna be able to give us all of our metrics for your foot width, length, instep, etc. Over time, the goal is to take your scan data, upload that into your profile on the site, and then cross-reference a bunch of training questions to make sure you're getting into the right shoes. And so basically, the idea of this is like, hey, so-and-so, you train similar to this lifter and this lifter. Here are the sizes they like and the shoes they wear. Over here, we have the barefoot wall. So this is kind of the mainstay wall here. We have the That Fit Friend branding in the middle. We have the training section over here. So we have the cross training shoes. We have some weightlifting shoes here on the bottom. We have barefoot shoes on this wall, obviously. And then over here, we have the run and high rocks wall. So all the shoes here will be dedicated towards running and high rocks. After my initial training shoe goes live in late summer, the next shoe I will be building is a running shoe more optimized for high rocks. And so I really want to make that a mainstay. And I'm also competing in 2 high rocks in the fall, Chicago and Anaheim. But here is the actual store layout, guys. The only things that I need that I'm waiting for is the carpets in here, and then also obviously a bench to sit on. And then here is the desk. The desk is one of my favorite parts of the store. This was put together by a friend who runs a small business here in Wentzville, Missouri. Rosemary Wood Designs, check it out. We got the coffee in there. And then this is like actually so cool, guys. Check this out. Look at the signage. Boom. So we got this lit up. So the final things that need to happen with the gym, so we have a week out, like I mentioned, is we need to finalize the lobby here. So I'm not gonna give you guys a full tour of the lobby yet because it's not finished, but the actual store is up and ready. We had our friends and family weekend this past weekend, so had 8 friends out, had a bunch of family come through. Gym members came through, like basically it was an open house for people to just come check it out before they sign up next week. A lot of folks came in, bought shoes, it was sweet. And so if you're new to this channel and if you've just missed the last updates, here are a few things that is gonna separate the That Fit Friend store from traditional shoe stores. So outside of carrying a lot of niche cross-training shoes, weightlifting shoes, barefoot shoes, and certain running shoes that a lot of big retailers don't carry, like for example, like you can't find Born Fit training shoes in the store anywhere. You can't find Innovate models. You can definitely not find any weightlifting shoes and barefoot shoes in most stores. So outside of that, the way we're gonna run this is you can come in and work out in the shoes before you buy them. So you can physically be like, hey, I wanna try a Zero Shoes 360. I carry demo shoes for all of these models. You can work out in them to make sure that they're gonna be perfect for you. And then if you end up buying through the store, you scan the QR code, you go through the That Fit Friend shop, all the colorways will be there and a fresh pair will be sent to you. So it's kind of like this hybrid, more experiential retail experience. It's a little bit lighter for me for inventory because obviously to carry every colorway in every size, it's very expensive. It's very tough to do. You need to have a lot of inventory. So to be able to blend this with a gym and allow you to train in these, I think it will be cool. Now, how fast will it take off? We'll see. There's gonna be a lot of fine tuning and plug and play work. But now let me take you through a foot scan and show you what this is gonna look like in person. So if you've ever been to a Fleet Feet or specialty running shoe store, you may have actually used one of these. This is a scanner from Atrex. I made a custom sign up here to cover it. But essentially, this is gonna give us a lot of metrics about your feet. So if you can't get in store, I wanna try to figure out how to make this applicable for online buyers who might not be able to have access to the Chesterfield, St. Louis area here in Missouri. So the goal will be though, to be able to take all this data and use it for the greater good for the community. So we can see here, I'm traditionally a 10, but I have on socks, so I'm gonna size a bit bigger, 10.5. We have our width, we have our length, and this essentially will give us a good idea of what your foot physically looks like. So obviously with all these different shoes, they all fit differently. And my issue with how these sizing things are currently run in most running stores is they cross-reference your foot size and then just basically slap you into shoes that have a similar fit. Now, that's not necessarily bad, but that doesn't account for how you train. So I think adding layers of more niched down training questions, so how heavy are you lifting? How much are you running? Do you do a lot of CrossFit, cross training, etc.? We can get you into better fitting shoes that also have features dialed for your training. So that is going to be a long-term play. Again, the goal is to just get this live and up and running for the time being and then run from there. But now let's do a gym tour. All right, so you essentially come in to this space here. I'm not gonna show you guys the left wall. That's our cardio wall where all the mirrors will be going. But check this out. This is a 12,000 square foot facility. So over here, we have the high rock slash class slash conditioning section. So we have all the rowers. We're gonna get a couple of salt runners. They're on back order, but we have one coming in the next week. We're building a massive mural here on this back wall. And then all the squat racks, powerlifting section are back here on like this mainstay wall. Then we come over here, standing calf, seated calf. We have like an RDL rowing machine here. We have our Smith machines, our supported dip and pull-ups, our dumbbells. Dumbbells go up to 200 pounds here. And again, this is Coalition Gym. I don't know if I mentioned that yet in this video, but Coalition Gym in Chesterfield. And then we have in the middle here, all of the cable stacks. So we have this massive cable stack here, delt machine, fly and rear delt machine, more cables over here. We have all of our benches here, so 3 main benches, 2 inclines, 1 decline. And then in the middle, we have all of our machines for your hypertrophy. So we have all of the back and rowing related machines right here. And then we have our line of accessories for like adductors, abductors, hamstrings, quads. And so we got the seated hamstring, lying hamstring, and then we have all of the goodies here. So all of the pendulum squats, the leg presses, and all of the tools here for destruction are right in the middle. So the ability to be able to shoot content not only at the store, but then also in this gym is going to be insane. And that's kind of why I haven't been posting a lot, because I really have been so in the weeds of exhaustion and stress trying to put this thing together and make sure it was cohesive and was presentable before I actually shared more with you guys. It's been kind of chaotic. Like I had 8 friends fly in this past weekend, and I tell you what, the stress that I was under, like my forehead right now, doesn't look too bad, but I was so broken out. Like my stress levels were like through the roof. I was greasy as F, so exhausted, but we are finally getting there. And so this final week, it's like all the final touches, the mural finish, the lobby finish, the touch-ups. Let me take you guys back to actually my new studio and office and the storage room, just to give you guys a context there as to what those look like. But yeah, this is so freaking exciting. And so you come back here, and then this will be my new studio. Hi, Ellie. This is where I'll be shooting all of my content moving forward. And then we come back here, and this is our storage room. So this is where all the demo shoes will go. And again, once shoes get kind of phased out of demos, I will be selling them marked down and used. So it hopefully will save you all some money down the road if you can't buy new. But as you can see, we have Tier, Born Primitive, Zero Shoes, Vivobarefoot, a ton of different Innovate models. I have Tolos coming, Notorious Lift coming. Reebok and Under Armour are in. They're my biggest companies to date. They are sending shoes literally this week, so expect them in the near future. And yeah, hopefully we'll get Strike Movement and Rad in down the road. But I almost think the way to do this, the more and more I'm exploring this idea, is I almost think doing like a boutique style store will end up being the move, as in carrying really the mainstay models from certain companies and making sure that I really have like the more, you know, let's call them like standard shoes from each company when it comes to cross training shoes, weightlifting shoes, barefoot shoes, versus trying to carry everything under the sun, because I just don't think that's feasible or that useful for most folks. So being able to carry like the primary shoes from each will be a lot easier, I think, on not only myself and consumers, and then potentially down the road, if there are ever spin-off models that somebody requests, that will also be a thing. I want this to be a very much community-driven store where if, for example, we have a bunch of members come in or a bunch of shoppers come in, they're like, oh, I really wish you had this barefoot shoe. Being able to reach out to the company and be like, hey, can I get a demo run of this, or even buy those wholesale and sell them on site? So we'll see how to run it. There are so many questions that I have about this whole process and trying to figure out how to do it efficiently. But I think a lot of this stuff is you just got to kind of figure it out. You just kind of got to get it live and see where the pain points are, see where the areas to finesse are, and then go from there, because I think you're not going to know until you just physically know and try it out and see what's going to break. So all that said, hope you guys appreciate this little tour. There's so much more content to come, especially with the grand opening coming, but I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update to show you where we're at with everything. So freaking exciting. I will see you guys very soon. And again, the address for the store, the actual go live date is June 14th, is 253 Chesterfield Industrial Boulevard. If you're in the area, come through. I think for like the first few people who come in and buy shoes, you're gonna get free socks and stuff, or I'm trying to figure out a way how to kind of hook up my first customers, like from the grand opening, not just friends and family. But yeah, y'all, if you like the video, drop, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.